Imagine pulling up to a stoplight in 1969 in a completely stock car you just bought from a dealership, and it runs the quarter mile in 10 seconds flat. No modifications, no roll cage, no safety net. Just you, the asphalt, and 500 plus horsepower that Detroit casually sold to anyone with a checkbook. This is the insane story of America's factory built to drag monsters. Welcome back to Torque Society. Today we're counting down 7 muscle cars that almost destroyed the competition, and trust me, you want to stay till the very last one. 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11, kicking off our list at number 7. And yeah, kicking off hard. Most people know the Impala as a lowrider, cruising at 20 miles per hour, but in 1963, Chevy turned this car into an absolute weapon. The Impala Z11 came with a 427 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 430 horsepower. But here's the thing, this car ran the quarter mile in 10.8 seconds. You do the math. Experts believe the real number was closer to 510 horses. Chevy only built 50 of them, specifically as factory drag cars. And they were so dominant, GM actually banned engines over 400 cubic inches in intermediate cars later that same year. Let that sink in. The Z11 was so fast, Chevy had to regulate itself. 1963, Pontiac Catalina Super Duty. Coming in at number 6, and this one has one of the coolest nicknames in muscle car history. Pontiac wanted a piece of the factory drag car action, so they built the 1963 Catalina Super Duty. They stuffed a 421 cubic inch V8 under the hood, stripped out everything that wasn't essential, and then, and this is where it gets wild, they literally drilled holes into the frame to save weight. That's why they called it the Swiss cheese Pontiac. Now Pontiac rated it at 405 horsepower, but just like the Z11, the numbers don't add up. Real estimates put it past 500 ponies. Only 14 were ever made. 14. One of these just sold at auction in 2025 for $742,500. Rarest car on this list, and one of the rarest of the entire era. 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Number 5. And Ford fans, this one's for you. The 1964 Fairlane Thunderbolt. The name alone should tell you everything. Ford dropped their legendary 427 cubic inch side-oiler 5.8 into a mid-size Fairlane body, stripped it down, and created something genuinely terrifying. Official rating? 425 horsepower. Actual estimated power? 540. Running the quarter mile in the mid-11s, this car made Zeus himself look slow. Ford only built 100 of these, and some were actually registered for street use. Imagine pulling up to a red light in 1964 in what looks like a regular Fairlane, and then just disappearing. That's what this car did to the competition. 1965 Dodge Coronet A990. We're at number 4 now, and this one literally created a whole racing category. The 1965 Dodge Coronet A990 looked weird. Its front wheels were pushed 10 to 15 inches forward, and the rear wheels were shifted toward the center. It looked like someone put the wrong body on the wrong chassis. But that strange stance? Pure genius. It put more weight over the rear wheels for insane grip off the line. Powered by the legendary 426 Hemi, conservatively rated at 425 horsepower, realistically closer to 550. This thing launched like a missile. It was so unusual looking that people started calling it a funny car. That name stuck, and today, funny car is an entire raw racing class. Ford hated this thing so much they actually banned their own drivers from racing against it. When your competitor bans their drivers from facing you, you've already won. 1966 Ford Fairlane 500 Barracuda. Number 3. And this one is the ghost of this entire list. Most people have never heard of it. It's not an accident. The 1966 Ford Fairlane 500 Barracuda was never sold to the public. Not a single unit. Ford built only 57 of them, and every single car went directly to hand-picked racing drivers. No dealership, no waiting list. If Ford didn't choose you, you weren't getting one. Simple as that. Under the hood sat the same 427 cubic inch side Oiler 5.8 from the Thunderbolt, officially rated at 425 horsepower, realistically closer to 500. For 2 full NRA seasons, drivers like Bill Lawton and Gas Ronda were basically untouchable in this car, dominating superstock classes week after week. The competition had no answer for it. Ford just kept winning quietly, behind closed doors, away from the spotlight. Today, only around 25 R codes are believed to still exist. When one does surface at auction, it sells for over $250,000 without blinking. This was Ford's secret weapon, built in the shadows, raised in the light, and almost completely erased from history. Almost. 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart. Number 2. And this is where things get genuinely unhinged. The 1968 Dodge Hemi Dart. Now the Dart was always a compact car. Small, lightweight, nothing too special on its own. But someone at Dodge looked at it and thought, what if we put the most powerful engine we have inside this tiny thing? And that's exactly what they did. They took the full 426 cubic inch Hemi, the same engine terrorizing NASCAR and drag strips across America, and somehow squeezed it into the Dart's engine bay. Chrysler was honestly so uncomfortable with this idea that they refused to do the installation themselves at the factory. Instead, they partnered with Hearst Performance to get the job done. Then came the stripping. Rear seats, gone. Carpet, gone. Insulation, sound deadening, any luxury at all, gone. In came fiberglass fenders to cut even more weight. The result was a 10.4 second quarter-mile machine that was somehow completely street legal. Dodge told every single buyer, this car is for the track only. Don't drive it on the street. The factory warranty is void the moment you leave the strip. 80 were built and sold through actual Dodge dealerships. A few of them definitely ended up as the most terrifying street cars in their zip code. And honestly, no complaints from us. 1968 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda. And here we are. Number 1. The car that tops this entire list. The 1968 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda. If you just watched the Hemi Dart segment and thought nothing could possibly beat that, you were wrong. This is the Dart's sister car. Same concept, same Force 126 race Hemi, built by Plymouth alongside Hearst Performance. But it was faster, it was rarer, and it was even more extreme in every single way. Only 50 were ever produced. 50 cars. And the entire world. The 426 race Hemi squeezed under that fastback hood was estimated to be making somewhere between 550 and 600 horsepower. And remember, this is 1968. No computers, no traction control, no launch assist, just raw mechanical fury and whatever courage you had left. The NRA officials looked at this car, watched it destroy everything on the strip, and decided the only fair thing to do was force it to carry extra weight as a penalty. A penalty for being too fast. And it still won. Every car came with a window sticker that read, intended for track use only, factory warranty void. Plymouth delivered most of them straight to Chrysler-backed racing teams, but a handful made it into actual showrooms. A few made it onto actual streets. And if you were ever unlucky enough to pull up next to one at a red light in 1968, well, the light hadn't even turned green yet, and you were already losing. That's number 1. That's the 1968 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda, the most dangerous street-legal car Detroit ever built. And that's our list of 7 muscle cars that almost destroyed the competition. These weren't just fast cars, they were factory-built weapons that changed drag racing forever. If you're new here, welcome to Torque Society. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a drop. And if you think we missed a car that deserved to be on this list, drop it in the comments. We read every single one. We'll see you in the next one.